you?
I'm doing great.
Excellent.
It's early in the morning. Oh, it's 11.
Yeah.
That's
Early.
okay. I just got up.
I like to get up at the crack of noon also.
Yes, same.
Is
Very,
that
very good.
you?
What?
You got a little cat?
Yes, I have two cats. They'll probably be roaming during the interview.
Gosh, excellent. And has your hair been zhuzhed up, darling?
Yes, I had my hair chick teach me how to do it well enough. It took me like all day.
It's brilliant. Mine is still very
Oh yeah.
not gonna happen.
I had to be like a witch stirring potions and lotions, and just it takes forever. So I'm so looking forward to getting back to just sitting there and letting her do her thing. Those girls deserve like hazard pay just generally. That stuff is toxic.
It really is, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
so bad. I'm like trying not to like get asthma as I immediately have it on my head. And I'm like, these guys are just around it all the whole time, like leaning over, and they
Yeah.
need pee full stop forever.
Yes. Agreed. You guys do the special mass all the time, but then, I don't know. But it looks good though.
It's great, mate. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's blended super well.
Thanks.
We'll just look at your great hair and not so great. Ideal.
You look lovely. Hey, I have wine. It's before 11. I just thought,
mate, I was wondering, I was like, cheers. I should get a Guinness, but it's already started.
that's true.
All right. I'll have one afterwards and end. So you are an actual rock star then, drinking before noon.
Yeah, I think that's the mark. That's the mark of them.
Nailing life. And you are a musician.
Yes.
So talk me through your music stuff.
Well, I am the lead singer with my band, which is called Sadie and the Tribe.
Nice.
We do our own style music. You would call it classic style rock and roll, female fronted, snarly guitars, and just nice and raw and human, real people playing real instruments. But with a female empowering vibe to the lyrics, although if you listen to it, it's just sassy rock and roll. But if you really listen to it and you know me, there's always kind of a message and just stepping out front of that and bringing some powerful femininity to the genre.
Nice.
And drinking before noon.
Punctuated by a sip of wine.
I have a whole soda water here, but that's less appealing now that I have my Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah, sure. It's just for visuals, mate. Just for visuals.
Yeah. Well, but we're actually creating music remotely right now with our writing partners, which are in Sweden. So we have a husband and wife duo who are excellent songwriters, and they have a recording studio there. That's where we did our last few songs. My husband and I, we come up with concepts and lyrics and kind of the style of the song. Then we send it to them. Then we all Zoom. And usually within a couple of hours, we've created a great song. The only problem is we can't record them until this whole pandemic settles down a little bit. So that's a bummer, but it's nice to be still creative musically as well as yogically during this time.
That's amazing, man. That's so good. This is a really good time for creative output and input. Yeah. It's just a great time for that. So yeah, can't wait till you record it.
Yeah, me neither. We've got some good ones.
Excellent. How can people find your music if they're listening to this and they want to find you?
Yeah, it's Sadie and the Tribe on Spotify and Apple Music.
Sweet.
Right now, and all the things we're there. We have 2 or 3 songs out. We've got a bunch more to release as soon as this is kind of settling. So, but we're creating it. You can go follow me there, and you'll get the new stuff as it comes out.
Excellent. Wicked, man. And you're creating in yoga as well, so you're doing more stuff specifically, aren't you, for lockdown as well?
Yeah, when this, I mean, I'm in California, and we have been under a stay-at-home order for really early on. I mean, I think end of April, beginning of March, we started a little bit, like a week or two before the governor said, just stay at home. we were already feeling that. We'd just gotten done with the show we did in Los Angeles. That was nearing the end of the events that were happening. And everybody then started to feel like, oh, maybe we should just back it off a little bit. We backed it off and then stay at home. And I thought right from the beginning, okay, this is nuts. Like this is very unexpected. I have two ways I can go with this because I'm very creative. I'm intense as a person. I have a lot of energy and I can send it positively or really negatively in any direction I want. Mm-hmm. So I thought, am I gonna fuck that? Can I swear on this?
God, yes.
Perfect. like I can fuck this entire time up for myself and everyone I know and love by just letting it tank my whole vibe, by letting it just get the best of me and believing the fear and kind of drinking the toxic juice of being all dramatic and upset and fearful and just, I can't do anything because this is happening. That's one way to direct energy. But I early on chose to think of this as an artist retreat that a lot of people might pay for.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
You know, I used to go up to Woodstock, New York with my friend. She was a musician. They would rent these cabins for 1 to 3 months at a time and just create music and write music. And they would pay good money for that. I thought basically I have the chance to be on an artist retreat right now, musically and yogically. So yeah, I've been not overwhelming myself because I don't want to just sit and overwork while I'm here, but I'm creating a lot of great stuff on both ends.
Great.
And then taking baths and drinking wine and
doing your own hair,
doing my hair,
having fun email exchanges. So yeah.
With certain people.
I don't know who that could be. I'm glad that you're into the Irish comedy. That's one of my favorites.
Father Ted.
Ted is the tits.
Absolutely. Yeah, I watched that show multiple times, every episode multiple times.
Yeah. No, lots of it off by heart. We could probably do a show of it right now, but we won't because we've got other shit to get through.
Just a little cup of tea. Just a cup.
You will.
Yeah.
I bloody love it. It's amazing. Do you allow laughter in your yoga classes?
Oh yeah, I hope so. You know, this month I just did this whole Power Play May because energy is heavy right now for a lot of people. So I wanted to just lighten it up. Every yoga shred I filmed has a playlist that is accessible on Spotify or wherever, but it's fun songs and I'm dancing. I'm trying to twerk. Yes. I'm laughing at myself. I'm doing the flash dance. I mean, the cardio, you know, anything to kind of just crack us up right now and give a little respite from this oppression.
Exactamundo.
And just to kind of, you know, try to push the other way a little bit. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. The fear is strong at the moment, my darling. The fear is strong. And you've got to laugh to get out of it and embody a bit, haven't you? And then, of course, you could just go around as a unicorn filleting flowers.
That is my favorite video you've ever, I've watched so many of your videos. I showed my friends. I've been like sharing. That's so funny when you're like this with the sun and
fingering the sun in the background.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't believe, I didn't know that you were watching them, and then I got that email. I was like, yeah, okay. And like Simon Borg watched another one where I was a pansexual in like with pans all around me in my lingerie, and he was like, I phoned him and he was like, is that you in the pansexual video? I was like, you know, trying to be a yogi, like a normal, like round. I'm like, yeah, I give pan drops, Simon. I give pan drops.
Well, you know what? I've met a few kind of high-level Indian gurus, you know, people that people follow around. And I can't remember this dude's name, but I met him at this party in Ojai. It was a barbecue, and he had a full plate of barbecue. And he was wearing jeans and a normal shirt. He wasn't wrapped in robes. And he was brought there by the Ojai Meditation Mount Collective, and like a big, huge deal. I haven't studied with him, but we had a long conversation. Eric Schiffman was there and a couple of other well-known yoga teachers. And this man, everybody's orbiting around him like, oh, guru, what do you know? What do you say? And he told me, he said, I used to wear the robes. I used to be all, yogier than thou. I used to walk a very strict spiritual path. But he said, you'll realize if you haven't already that the more you practice yoga and spiritual disciplines, the less strict you're going to be, and the more you're just going to enjoy life. You're going to wear what you want. You're going to eat what you want to eat. You're going to be yourself, because that expression is the highest yoga. And to not do what everybody else is saying, this is spiritual, this isn't spiritual, but to just lighten up. And he said lightening up and having the barbecue has been one of the highest yogas I've ever done. And I just thought that's awesome. Super. And that's exactly what you're doing. Exactly what I'm doing naturally. Yeah. People will tell you, as I'm sure they do, oh, that's not yoga. Well, let's tell me what yoga is then, in a way that everyone on earth can agree with, and I'll pay you $1 billion right now. Of fake monopoly money, but still.
I'll just go and write it on a bit of paper and as an IOU.
Perfect. Yoga isn't a thing. Yeah, yoga isn't a thing. It's 7 billion things, as many people as there are on earth. And actually, yoga as a concept is not one discipline or thought or anything. It's just masses of writings, a lot of contradictory practices. Everyone thinks, oh, this is the yoga, or this is the yoga. If everyone could hold up a sign every time they talk about yoga, my yoga, this is my yoga, this is how I think of it and express it, the world would be a much less judgmental place, because there's almost no place as judgmental as the spiritual circle.
Right. That's why I was so glad to see JPCs when he emerged. I was just like, yes.
So good.
Yeah, exactly.
Take the piss, take it. I mean, that's what it's about. You can walk the walk that feels right and authentic for you. And I've always said, I don't people, trolls will come online and say whatever they want about me. Oh, that's not yoga. Oh, you wear makeup. Just bullshit. And I say, I'm not here to teach perfection. I've never said that. I've never said that. I'm here to lead by example and into empowerment and authenticity. That's what I teach. How to be fully you in your own way. By me being fully me in my own way and offering, techniques I've used to get there. Maybe that can help someone else too. But luckily, I always teach imperfectly perfect living. So I have nothing to hide,
Yeah, I love it. It's great. You're just balls deep out there, aren't you?
Yeah. No one's going to catch me eating a chicken wing and be like, oh, but she teaches veganism.
Yeah. No, ideal.
Easy way not to be a hypocrite. Just be who you are.
Yeah.
And don't try to hide it.
I've been very much embracing my inner hypocrite, because I've always hated doing online yoga, and now I'm, up to my shoulder in it. So
yeah, you're very good at it.
God bless you.
Yeah, very good. I liked the hypersexual teaching.
Oh yeah, the engorged and aroused puppy pose, and so that, because we discussed that a little bit, I wanted to talk about that, about how yoga has, I was a bit judgy about yoga online, and this was years ago, and about judgy about how people present themselves on Instagram and stuff, because I was just so appalled at how sexual it was. And I'm a very sexual person, don't get me wrong, I'm not. It was just the two for me were very confusing, because I'm not a straight woman and I'm a yoga teacher. So I'm just like looking at it and I'm like, I'm impressed, I'm aroused, and I'm angry all at the same time. Yeah. I learned nothing. Follow.
You're like, oh, you just did yoga? I missed it all. I'm sorry.
Dribbling. Yeah. Like, I don't feel very spiritual right now, guys.
I feel a lot of other things, but not that.
Not that. No.
No, I think that it's a really interesting time to be a female in this whole environment, because not only was yoga, let's just say like the movement style, we're calling yoga.
Mm-hmm.
Not only was that a male dominated discipline for like the first 89% of its incarnation. I mean, the first Western, like workouty yoga kind of woman was Beryl Bender Birch with this book, Power Yoga, way back in the day. I remember seeing that and just thinking, I didn't even know women could do athletic yoga. That blew my mind. Later I met her and she's just cool as the day is long, you know, very cool woman, pioneer in that way. But then coming into the Western world, it flipped and it became, yes, a lot of men were teaching yoga, still are. That's another conversation. But there are so many women now. And I think the difficulty for many women is, at least in the American society, and I think in a lot of the Western society, we get bombarded all the time with these images of what a woman should be, pretty, sexual, outgoing, perfection in this way. And then you see the man over here, like not perfect, not sexualizing yoga overly in their way, just like doing poses and teaching things. And then you get women. I feel like a lot of women don't understand that they have a value that is separate from and far greater than selling with sex, using their sexuality to try to get more views, to try to get more popular. The moment I see someone in their bikini bod on the beach, I admire their form. You know, I think the body is beautiful. I'm like, go girl, you know, enjoy your 20s.
Yeah.
Because that shit ain't gonna, you know, be there forever. But okay, do your yoga on the beach. That's fine. And they get 1 million views. And the thing is, it was really interesting. I'm thinking of Yoga Girl right now, not in a judgmental way, but because she started like that and she just got millions of views and everything. And then as she matured in her life and her yoga teaching and understanding, I think she began to become more social cause oriented, more lifestyle oriented, family oriented, less of those kind of beach pictures. Her body changed. She lost a ton of followers and she did a post bitching about that, rightfully so, one day, saying, I've got millions of followers, yet when I post about something that's important, something that's real happening in the world and want to drive you toward a social cause, maybe 5-10% of you are commenting or interested. So if you want a bunch of bikini pics of me on the beach and that's what you came here for, you're not going to get as much of that. So maybe, you know, think on that. And that's how it goes. I want to see more women stepping up into their power as educators, using their knowledge forward instead of just booty forward.
Yeah.
Unless that's your thing, you know, I mean, do your thing. But if your thing is to teach and be taken seriously as a teacher, it's the equivalent of when I started getting into music, I thought, oh, do I have to like shake my boobs in the camera and like wear nothing? And my husband actually said, think about the female singers you admire. Let's name them. I said, okay. Chrissy Hind, Annie Lennox. Who else? Ann Wilson. Joan Jett. These kind of role models for my personality and singing style. Pat Benatar, you know. And I thought, and he said, what do they all have in common? I said, I've never seen their tits.
Amazing.
I haven't. And they, you know, they're dressed amazingly, but they're dressed and their talent is forward.
Yeah.
Their voice is forward. And I think as we are kind of growing in the yoga sphere, I really hope that women see that we are not here to commoditize ourselves sexually to get attention, as much as we need to step into that power as leaders that we have in, you know, spades. We are kind of hiding our gold.
Yeah. Amazing. That's what I really love about your vibe and your style and how you are as well, because you're still super sexy, but you know, super sassy and sexy and really feminine, but you're not like in a bikini showing me your vagina.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm disappointed. but I will.
Sorry. Sorry, man.
Just a different page. Because, and you know, it's
but maybe one day I'll do a yoni yoga flow.
Exactly. Amazing.
Pick up random objects and put them on my altar, you know.
With your yoni.
Yeah, it's the yoni flow.
Exactly. Excellent. I'm so glad.
Coming soon to the Fit and Fierce Club.
That's how you achieve such things.
1 million followers right now. There you go.
Exactly. Marketing 101, mate. Marketing 101.
Mm-hmm.
Gurus. So you've already talked a little bit about them. When I hear the word guru now, I just kind of think twat, usually, because they're like self-professed gurus, which is the big. And you know, it seems that although we're in a world of female, there's a dickload of female teachers, right? It's like that's the predominant teacher is female, which is awesome. But why, most of the gurus are men, which is why I may think twat. And it's just so weird that even in this world where we're a lot more empowered, so I used to be a lawyer, that definitely wasn't a thing in that world. This world is a lot more female centric, that these geezers are still at the top and doing a lot of molesting, by the way.
Yes, a lot of molesting.
And when's that going to stop, please?
Yeah, I think people who have a predatory nature and a desire to predate, I think that's the word, to creep on the power differential, will become teachers, will become yoga teachers, will find those areas where they can be the authority and have all of these people swooning over them, and then pick them off as they're just very open and they see you as godlike or guru-like, and we've seen that over and over again. I mean, I have been close as someone who traveled the world teaching for like the Yoga Journal events, which are lovely, and all the top level conferences and things. I got to see a lot of this firsthand. And I've been to a couple of major teachers' classes where I felt utterly uncomfortable. Either they would personally touch me in ways that I had not consented to and really sexually, or I would see them doing it to other students and see these girls be uncomfortable but kind of talk themselves out of it. And it just enraged me, and then to see some of these same teachers coming out being caught for what they're doing, having their whole empires destroyed, makes me really happy. I'm just like, karma, we say karma's a bitch, but I think karma is great. I think karma is a queen.
Yeah.
When she comes after you, she's just like, you're done.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. Amazing.
And I hope more and more men are getting the message now. And there are some women that do this as well, but the power differentiation tends to happen more with these male figures in the yoga world, with all these little women running around in their pants, like, oh my gosh. And it's up to the women to create boundaries and not put up with that behavior. It's not spiritual. It's not yoga.
They're not fixing your base chakra.
No, it's abusive. It's sexual harassment to worse. And we do not need to be in a class. If you're in a class and someone touches you anywhere you're not comfortable with, take their wrist, move their hand off of you, roll up your mat, get the hell out, never come back. Take your power back. They don't have power over you because they know the Sanskrit terms for 85 yoga poses, or because they act like they're a leader. Acting like a leader and actually being one are two very different things. So don't fall for it, And I think that it's up to women to create our boundaries, because there will always be creepy men. There will always be creepy women out there too, by the way. And it's up to us. It's up looking at you, girl.
Oh dear. It is up to us. It really is up to us. I'm
not going to be the victim of the patriarchy in this way where it's like, oh, and men are taking advantage of us and everything. Well, we need to stop being so nice and stop talking ourselves out of what we feel, and giving these people permission to continue doing this stuff to us, and to stand up. Like the whole Me Too movement was a great example of conscious boundary. Then again, we don't want to go around accusing every single person, like, he pushed on my hips and downward facing dog, I'm suing him. Let's take a breath. But if you feel uncomfortable, you speak up, you leave, do what you have to do to make yourself feel comfortable, and then you're not a victim anymore. Then you're not surviving things, you're thriving things. And that's what I like to say.
Exactly. And that's why I like having these conversations with people, especially someone like yourself who, people will listen to, because it's always hushed, isn't it? All these sorts of things, these things are hushed. And even when they come out, people still don't talk about them. So it's really helping other women to know that they have the right to do what they want. It's unbelievable that we still have to say this to women, but it's a true story. We have to.
It is. And I want everybody to know, I'm not just saying this as this rock star woman, and she's just been like this since birth. And I had to fight for this. I have been abused in every way by my partners or by strangers that you can imagine. Part of that is when you are strong and when you have a light to you, people will flock to that positively and negatively. People who have a hole in them that they haven't filled will come and try to get your energy to fill that. And that's very seductive for people who are helpers and healers, who want to save the world, one person at a time, one addict at a time, one alcoholic at a time, one abusive partner at a time, one hurt bird at a time. But you don't need to be drawing people close to you that are just energetic vampires or abusive in some way. So I've been hit by partners. I've been raped. I have been emotionally abused. I have had horrible self-esteem growing up. I was poor. Everything. My spine was broken. I had to work myself back for 10 years. And doctors said I wouldn't walk probably. I mean, I have taken some hits, yet I do not survive it. I thrive. And I reclaimed that. So what you see now is a product of me just making the decisions to reclaim my power, to set proper boundaries now, and to know that I don't have to live my old story for the rest of my life.
Yeah, amazing. You are a brave, badass woman.
Thank you. Thank me, because also I chose that.
Yeah,
choose every day.
Yeah, totally. It's amazing, and it's fairly evident that you do. Not even when I speak to you, but just in general, from what you put out. Oh, bless you. Talking of boundaries in class and stuff, when you have people come into your classes or on your retreats, how do you manage that? And has that been a learning curve as you go? And, how do you manage it with both men and women? And yeah.
Well, here's the fun about high-level yoga teaching, as I'm sure you know and understand. You cannot do the same thing for a class. You are not teaching a class, you're teaching 50 to 60, 75, 10, 1 individual people, all with their different ways of needing and wanting things, all with their different boundary levels. And that's what you do. You start by saying, as we do in my style, I'm very verbal and I show you everything and you do it with me. Then I'll have an assistant walking around, just kind of if anyone's doing anything that's complete carnage, that could just blow their knee out or something, they're going to talk with them, but they'll show them, and they don't touch without consent. May I touch your knee right now to move it back a little bit, show you where it's at. If they're not getting it themselves, which is empowering, then have somebody there, and just to have someone walking around, or for me to be seeing my students and using their names and things, is really powerful. You don't have to be hands all over. Now, if that is your style, you can announce, I am more of a hands-on teacher. If you are uncomfortable with that, I have touch or not touch cards for any reason, doesn't matter, like you're not feeling it today or whatever. That way you're not singling, if you have had trauma in your life. So we can have consent cards too, where you've got green and red, but some people won't turn it over because they just can't make a statement like that in public. So I do always ask before I do anything. And of course, don't touch inner thighs, belly, you know, yonis, don't touch the breasts, don't touch
yonis. They don't need adjusting.
You know, yeah, this doesn't do a damn thing to people. Why are male teachers coming up to women and just, oh yeah, let's stretch out that fascia. Don't touch my boobs. You know, just this stuff is epidemic in yoga. The way you touch matters. Come in as a professional. Come in a little bit more clinically instead of like someone who's merging with all their chakras.
I've seen it. I've seen it where they've literally almost been laying on them and stroking, and I've just gone like, that is not adjusting, mate.
Right. And if that teacher is like that, they will attract and return clients will want that from them, and they will have their own crowd. But I do think if you're a touchy-feely teacher, you need to say that in the beginning before you just come at people.
I'm definitely an adjuster, but I don't rub my crotch on people, you know.
Right. Touch is a very personal thing. You know, if you're out at a bar and someone comes up and just starts like rubbing your shoulder and you're not into that for some reason, which would be most of the time, it's going to feel horrible. So why do yoga teachers feel that we're entitled to just go on in for the touch? I think that more and more people are realizing that boundaries matter. And you've got to communicate what your style is to your class. Say, if you're not okay with that, like put your water bottle to the right side of your mat. You know, no questions asked is fine. You might just be having a day where you're just like, I don't want it. That's empowering to say something like that, because then students don't feel like it's all about their trauma. So it does not matter why, if it's this, that, if you're just having an off day, you're not in the mood, put your water bottle over there. Then it could be for any reason. And you're not singling them out, you know. This is the best we can do, and just to be communicative and conscious and ask before you touch. I think, is it okay if I, you know, I don't think there's ever a reason for us to put our hands on people's bellies or soft parts. I just don't. You know, let them massage themselves there to get the desired effect. If you need to tilt a pelvis back, show them how to do it. They're going to do it on their own body.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
I had one chap adjust me really well with the back of his foot once, and I thought that's great because it's a very non-sexual part. I was like, I felt really respectful. And then I wasn't in the pose anymore because I was like praising him in my head. But
I mean, I used to be like an ambidextrous, like 8 arms and legs toucher. Because I just thought that was cool. My elbow, you wouldn't know, you would be like, there are 5 people on me right now. What is happening? I'd have one, like my forearm here and my heel on the sacrum, and I'd be like pulling them apart. And then I'd be like, I don't know what I would do, pulling their head back and being like, don't jet forward. And it was everywhere at once. And then over time, I realized I wouldn't want that without being asked, you know. Yeah. I stopped being the octopus and started letting them be their own octopus.
That's amazing. Oh. So in this pandemic, we've obviously seen a lot of fear, which we've spoken about a little bit. I've been talking to people recently about death and how we all have this fear of death, and how this is mainly obviously why we're all so scared in the pandemic. I guess, like, do you have any of your own personal beliefs, whether that's yogic beliefs or not, or, you know, what your advice or inspiration or path to Zen is apart from drinking wine?
No, that's it. I mean, that's all I've got, really. And it works really well for many people. Some people not so much. No, wine is, you know, I did my 23andMe, and I already know this. My family lineage is, I mean, I'm 98% European. My family is from Italy, France, and Scotland and Ireland. That has always drawn me. I've always traveled to Scotland, Ireland, France, and Italy, in the exact places that it turns out my family DNA is from, which is interesting to me. I'm very drawn to those places. And in those places, lifestyle is soothing, isn't it? Like if you have lived a full life, death becomes less scary, because I think a lot of people who are scared of death, I mean, we all are to some extent because it's an unknown and that's just natural. But I think a lot of people's excess fear of death comes from not really living the life that they feel they were born to live, not taking those risks to try life and be in the world, to create your projects at your next level, to put yourself out there as the artist that you are. Whatever you're doing, you are creating something. Once you do that, you become more self-satisfied, and that fear of death isn't as loud in your ear. I think that is something to truly live. And when I go to Europe, as an American especially, you're probably completely used to it. But I do find that there's a life affirming rhythm to things. Things slow down, especially if you go to the Tuscan countryside, or you go to the French countryside, go to Scotland and write a little bit, go to the Highlands, go to the Isle of Skye, if you really want to feel like you can just be away and get your stuff done and write and drink whiskey and it's great. That is really important. But I can talk from a personal experience. Aside from all the philosophies about death, which are truly just, they're mind constructs, they may or may not be what you experience. So study what comforts you and orients you. That's lovely. But I actually died one time for just a little bit, and I remember it.
What?
Yes. So I will pass the savings on to you and tell you a little bit about what happened. I donated eggs to a fertility clinic when I was in college. I thought it would be great. I didn't really ever feel the craving to have kids. And at that time I was young, but I already knew myself. And I thought, well, if I still don't ever want to have kids, I can then help other people have kids. I got the treatments and fine, I'm in college, but I did this thing called hyperstimulation, which is really bad. It makes your blood veins porous, and all the water in your system pours out into the third space, which I didn't even know we had one. That's all this other space around your organs and space in your body. And I flooded myself. I gained like 30 pounds in a week and a half of just water because I was so thirsty. It was going in, but it wasn't coming out. I did not understand that was hyperstimulation. I was still trying to work, going to my editor's job at, a big university. I was the editor of a huge university newspaper. It was terrible. And one day I couldn't get off the couch. My boyfriend at the time had to carry me into the emergency room. And while I was there, my blood pressure was so horrible. I don't know what all happened, but I died on the table for a few seconds.
Wow.
Here's what I experienced. I wasn't feeling good at all. They were checking me out. They seemed very agitated and concerned.
Well,
And then I closed my eyes, and all of a sudden I opened them again, but I was floating on the ceiling, looking down at myself. And I watch all the ghost shows, honey, so I know exactly what that means.
I was about to say, that's classic textbook, right?
Yeah, like this ain't great right now. Yeah. I'm on the ceiling looking, and I looked at my hands, and I didn't see this. I saw, you know how when you're on a road and you see the shimmering of the heat on the road? My hands were made of that.
Oh, so when you were up there and you looked at whoa.
I was like, whoa. I could see my hand, but it was made of a different material. Yeah. It was made of that shimmery material. And I was looking down at myself, silent down there, and all these doctors rushing around. I saw a new doctor come in. She was an Asian woman named Dr. May. I saw her name tag. And then I saw my brother come in, which was very strange because I was in Seattle at the time. My brother lived in Kansas City, and I had not told him I was sick. So I'm like, am I dreaming? Why is my brother rushing in here? He starts slapping me in the face. They're trying to restrain him. He's slapping me in the face, saying, bitch, and he's not, bitch, if you die, mom's going to kill you.
I shouldn't laugh, but.
Wake up, bitch, if you die, mom's going to kill you. Wake up. He's slapping me in the face.
my
slapping my dead ass in the face. That's what was happening. That's brotherly love. I'm up there, and I'll tell you one thing, and I think this might be soothing for some people. I felt no fear, no pain, just complete awareness. Just, very clear, like you feel on your best day.
Wow.
Everything's fine. Nothing hurts. I feel very clear right now. I feel like an alive neutral. That's what I felt like. And I thought, if I just relax like a tiny bit more, I will go home.
Wow.
And I wanted to go there really badly. I just knew that it was going to be like feeling the best massage you've ever had in your life. It just felt so relaxing. Like, I just want to like relax. Like I'm done with this. I don't want to be in that heavy meat suit. And that's the first time I thought of it like that. Whoa. I was just in the body before. I'm like, I don't want to be in the heavy, weird meat suit anymore. I got to go, man. But my brother was slapping my face. So I'm up there on the ceiling looking down at everything and starting to get agitated at my brother, starting to slightly feel something going like this on my face. So my head started moving because I was feeling this. And I remember my brow furrowed a little bit. And all I could think was, if there's a lot of swearing in this interview, so get ready. Earmuffs if you don't like swearing. I thought in my hovering space, if he would just shut the fuck up, I could die. Just shut the fuck up and let me die. Yeah. And he kept slapping me. And all of a sudden I felt an inkling of irritation, and the worst feeling in my life or death happened, where I was up all like cool on the ceiling looking at myself. And then all of a sudden in a millisecond, I flipped and fell back into my body. And I was looking up at the ceiling again. And they said I didn't have a heartbeat for a bit. I don't know how long. And all of a sudden my heart started going, and they were about to celebrate like she's back. And I sat up like a freaking vampire straight out of the coffin. And I just yelled, shut the fuck up. Then I passed out again.
I love siblings.
And she's back for another 25 years.
Oh my God, your brother should like go and help in hospitals more often. He's clearly a talented man.
He is. I feel like he would be like the death irritator. Like he would just come and irritate you back into living.
Death irritating catalyst back to life.
So
yeah, to slap your dead family in the face.
Yeah. So whatever I read or whatever, my personal experience is always going to be something that I think about, because that's how I felt the first time I separated from my body and was ready to go. Therefore, I'm afraid of the dying process. I'm not afraid to be dead. I'm afraid of dying. I don't know what's going to happen. Is it going to hurt? Like everyone.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't stop you from living the whole rest of your life until that point.
Yeah.
And so, the more you can live now, the less it's going to concern you. And the more it might even be a total surprise, like it was for me. And it was painless. I didn't feel myself dying. I didn't have a process. I just was out.
What an incredible story. I'm so glad I asked you that question.
It might be the first time I've ever shared it.
Wow.
Yeah. That's something in my past I don't try to capitalize on or overly talk about, but that did happen. And I think that that's important for people to maybe be a little bit like, oh, hey, what if you just popped out and you didn't feel the pain and horrible suffering you think you're going to feel? And how would you live then? What would change about the now if you could relax a tiny bit about that final moment? Which I think is just a horizon. I think you keep going. I was exactly who I am now, just without this whole thing, but I could still see my body. So I don't know if the mohawk was an energy form. I don't know.
Tattoos, they were there.
Yeah. I think I was gripping a glass of wine, like, you're coming with me. I don't care how.
Oh, barrel. I'm ready to go, God. Take me.
Yeah, I'm ready to take me and take my wine.
He's my brother. He's a git.
I know.
Abusive.
Just put him in the next heaven town over, or whatever.
Bless your brother's heart.
Yes.
Oh,
thanks, bro.
Yeah, I'm like crying partially emotionally, partially with laughter. I mean, it's a confusing emotional time for me. I don't know how you're feeling.
Oh yeah, pretty. It's confusing and it's wonderful, and we're here for a limited time, so why not rock it? Why
Exactly.
not? You already know how not to rock it and what that does. You
That's
can always go
literally everything
back.
you know.
Yeah,
We
you
all
can
know.
always go back to the old things, but why not, try to just be fully in your life.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the main thing that everyone is trying to figure out. But you are literally leading by example, mate. So it's lush to see. So yeah, thank you for that.
I'll just say I do one thing every day that I think helps with that,
Mhm.
that I don't see a lot of other people doing, but when they do it, it makes a big difference. And that is to have a little time with myself, my journal, and to write down my vision for what other things I could create, what I want to do tomorrow to move me toward my goals of having online content I like, doing stuff on social media, my music, and then self-care stuff. And I just make a plan for like the next day, 2 or 3 things that if I got accomplished, that would really lead me farther. And I also make like a monthly plan. What do I want to have done by the end of the month, and how do I need to piece that out each day? I am horrible at organizing myself. So I do it every day, and it's gotten me a lot better at it. And that's how I accomplish so much.
Yeah.
By checking in with myself daily. A lot of people wait for months and they go, oh, I'm not creating anything. Shit, what should I do? And then it's like a list of 500 things.
Yeah. Well, you've got too much to do.
1 or 2 things daily. And I wake up in the morning and go, right, so I want to check emails all day long and watch other people live their lives on Instagram and TikTok. But before I do that, what could I do right now to complete something or to move something forward with half an hour or an hour of my time? Do I work out? Do I finish this questionnaire for Daily Ohm so I can get a course up? What can I really do? And I just tackle something every morning, because by the time the day drags on, I'm probably going to be too tired to do more, So I just want to, mornings are huge for me. That's when I accomplish. And then the rest of the day is like, whatever, because I accomplished something today.
Exactly. So you can let yourself off the hook.
Yeah. Let myself go, lounge around.
I've taken 1 hour of yoga. Just get the wine out.
Yeah, get it out.
Stroke the cat.
I know, I'm disappointed the cats haven't come around.
I saw a tail earlier, so I think that's my quota. That's what they've offered me for today.
James, can you get Freddie? Okay. He's gonna get Freddie. You gotta see the Bushman, Freddie Mercury.
Oh, nice.
What's her full name?
Farouk Balsara.
Her full name is Farouk Balsara, which is Freddie Mercury's real name.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
Otherwise known as Freddie, and I felt naming a girl Freddie is a good idea. This is the puffball.
Oh my word.
Century. Here we go.
That's a lot of cat.
It's a big kitty.
Beautiful.
She's a Siberian kitty.
Oh, I love that breed. They're gorge. Oh, look at her hugging you.
She's all tired. She
Oh,
hugs. She's a hugger. She likes her back feet to be tucked in, watch. So she'll like tuck her feet in.
that's amazing.
Hey, Freddie.
How old is she?
She's 2 and something.
2 in like 2 months.
2 and 2 months.
Oh, when it's out of lockdown, you can have a party for her. Oh, look at her pretty little face.
She's so tired.
I mean, she's just probably, been working really hard.
Yeah.
In lockdown, so
she's a nice lap kitty. She's going down on the lap. Everybody say goodbye. It's so good. Good girl.
So cute.
Good girl. All right.
That was lush.
I
I can't get my dog in. I've got a massive Doberman. So yeah, exactly. She's like an actual horse. A psychopathic, lovely horse, but yeah, a horse nonetheless. I've got one more thing to talk to you about, which is being an individual, which we've kind of touched upon. And I feel like it's really relevant for you in particular, but I've got this idea of like you being like Batgirl, and because you're so you, it basically shines out this Batgirl symbol. And that means that, some people will be like, I'm not into that. But the people who are into it are like really into it.
Yes.
So it's like your ultimate honing device.
Yes, I love that. That is a great, I think it's a metaphor. Is it a metaphor? It's like a bat signal. There's a simile.
If it's like, it might be a simile. Are we
Let's
doing
discuss.
grammar?
Let's discuss. I think
Have we gone from saying fuck a lot to doing grammar?
I am the bat signal is metaphor. I am like the bat signal is simile.
Yeah, you're a writer, aren't you? So
Not that.
yeah.
I mean, you know, I need, yeah. So I agree with you. When you said something really important right there that I think everybody listening to this, we're joking around and lighthearted as we should be, but there's some really deep wisdom in what she's saying right now. And that is when you stand as who you are and you allow yourself to be revealed as who you are, fully authentic. And it doesn't mean you get a mohawk, or you might be a gentler, quieter version of authenticity. You might be like a loud Leo kind of like version of it. Whatever you are on the spectrum, if you're fully you and you can say to people, yes, I like that, I will do that. No, that's not my thing. It doesn't work for me. I'll pass. And you can really not say yes to things you don't want to say yes to. When you can stop hiding who you are because it's disappointed other people or other people didn't like it, and you're worried if it's okay if you're like that. Well, if that's who you are, when you stand up inside yourself and express that, try not to bully it, because maybe some of you have been hiding it for a long time. So then you're like, yeah, screw everybody. I don't care about your truth. This is my truth. Well, that's just being a bully. That's not being authentic. You can allow for other people's experiences, but still just be who you are. And it's very natural. It's very fierce, but gentle, and respectful, but fierce. I'm going to say fierce as many times as possible in this interview. Then what you said is so important. Then you attract what I call your tribe, the people who are absolutely, they get you, they resonate with you for this time being. It might not be forever, but they're like, yes, I need this right now. This is exactly for me. The people, importantly, that aren't into it can clearly see you and your truth, and you avoid these, interactions that are kind of half-assed or don't feel right to you. You avoid students filling your class up with people who just come and go at random times. Then you have 8 people in class one day and 30 and then none, and because they don't know who you are, so they're just coming when the time is right, and you can't count on that. You can count on your true community and your tribe. And it all starts with you being who you are. And this is not something I've always been like, this is who I am. So, come be with it if you want. And if you don't, make space for those who do, which is equally important. I used to try to be like every other yoga girl because I thought that's what people wanted. And when you do the things you think other people want, you lose yourself in the crowd.
Yeah.
And true leaders and people who really want to be seen and heard, which I think would be everybody, need to not overly worry about what they want out there. Worry about and think about what you want and need. Who do you need to be today to be the true artist and expresser that you are? Who do you need to be today to feel like you're aligned, like you're healthy, you're passionate about waking up and doing your stuff? And then, yes, some people will hate that. Some people won't get it. Some people will be disappointed and like expectations not met, but a lot of other people will love it and want it and come closer. So what are you going to do? Who are you trying to please?
Yeah.
Yourself or them? Because you're never going to please everybody. So let that sink in, ever. No matter what you do, you're going to have lovers and haters and people in between. So why not just be yourself more? Yeah,
it's definitely brave to do, and you have to be fierce, as you said. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that you are not kind. And then I think you can actually help more people that way as well, because if you're really you, then you connect with the people who need what you got.
Yes, then they can find you, And it's not just about us standing up and being authentic either. It is in service of the people that are meant to hear our particular message in our particular way. They've been waiting for you because that's going to unlock something in them and help them in a million different ways. it is worth it for you to kind of step forward. And it's so much better when someone hates on you for who you truly are, because then you could say, but all these other people like it and I like it. Most importantly, you're going to be satisfied. When people hate on you for you, kind of your hidden, half hidden self, you're going to be like, oh, but if I was only fully me, maybe you would have changed your mind. Oh, and then now you're hating on yourself too, because you know you haven't fully stepped into your power.
True, man.
You know?
Yeah, that is so true.
There's nothing worse than that.
Yeah. Crikey O'Reilly. That's a truth nugget right there. I only want people to hate me when, if it's really me that they hate.
Right. Like let them see you. It's not like more people are going to hate you if you're truly you. It's just the same amount of people will, but now you're being satisfied. Well, it's, I feel great. I know who I am and I'm representing my truth. And these people get it. I get it. And I'm sorry, I disagree with your opinion of me if you don't. I disagree with your assessment of me. It's fine. You don't have to be like, God, maybe my real self isn't worth anything. Well, you decide that. No one else does but you. Yeah. If you let them, you agree with it, it's you agreeing. But you can disagree as well. It's just completely your bag to do that. You agree or not.
Yeah.
There's no fear of, oh, if I'm myself, someone's going to not like it. And then that means that I'm not worth anything. No, that self-worth is an inside job only.
Yeah, for sure. Amazing. Well, thanks. That was quite the answer.
I do my best.
Darling. It's wonderful. Oh dear. I am just checking to see. I don't know if you know this, but we actually have been speaking since way before I asked you to teach at On Bass, which, by the way, thank you so much. Everyone bloody loved it. And yeah, amazing. I think you had the most signups.
So, oh, cool.
Yeah, most people came to your class.
That's that was amazing. I love that you offered that for everybody right now. That must have taken a lot of work to organize that and to provide so much goodness from so many teachers.
Just gonna sneak off and have a quick facelift.
Exactly.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much work it was going to be, but it was like 15 hours a day every day. There are no weekends in lockdown. And Tom, one day, who's the tech side of it, was just like, Rach, I think you need to lay down for a day because you seem panic and stressed and you're trying to do a nice thing. And I was like,
we knew how much work everything was going to be that we envisioned creatively. We would never do anything.
No, exactly.
So you just got to kind of like do it and dive in. But the people that, like you, don't stop halfway through and say, this is too much work, forget about it, are the ones that complete stuff. And that's what success is, just completion.
Yeah.
And it's rare because it's hard.
It is really hard, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Before that, I was emailing you because I think one of the places that you had your courses were very naughty and they sold them off really cheaply.
Right.
And so I didn't ever know if you realized it was me, because you and I had several email exchanges, which I'm sure you did with so many people. I mentioned my real festival, which is on Bass, but not online.
Yes.
So it's like one day you've got to come over, but I mean, I just suddenly realized before this, I was like, I didn't know if you'd made the connection or
I did now. I remember that. Yeah. And your personality is just so unique that I totally remember those exchanges now. Yeah. I'll be traveling again at some point. I mean, right now I would love to just leave my living room and go anywhere.
Somebody have a Guinness, mate. Like I'm doing every day. Yeah. Basically.
No, I would love it. I mean, I was traveling so much. I was probably like, I'm not traveling for like 18 years, I don't think now, but I plan on doing some more. So let's talk. But yeah, that's cool. We've been talking for a while. I'm glad you did the online festival and I could be a part of that for sure.
Me too. And it's bloody lovely to actually meet you.
You too.
It's like a virtual air hug. There you go, mate. That's like a really bad gangster gesture, isn't it? A really bad monkey-ish.
I know.
I'm cooler than that, I promise.
I forgot how to hug. That's why I've forgotten.
You need to go practice on your husband.
Yes. You know, people are making those those plastic wrap gateway things where it's like a huge thing of plastic, and then you have holes with plastic arm things, 1 and 2 right beneath it, so you can hug people in your yard.
What? That's
Yeah.
such an idea.
Look it up.
I will look it up. I'm gonna have a queue forming.
Yeah. So your like grandparents are coming over and their grandkids are hugging them through the thing, just like,
Oh, sweet.
it's a hug gateway.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up. I need to go and see my nan big time. Last time I saw my nan, I took her to Ireland actually, so we had a great time there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did the crack.
My nan is a saucy lady, so
Yeah, which is not what some of you might think that is.
no, it's not.
Nan did the crack.
Nan went and did crack in Ireland. I mean, she does like to, live her life. She lives her best life.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
Yeah. Not that she does crack, that she lives her life, yeah.
The crack is just like the sassy talking and poking at each other that bonds you in Ireland. It's really,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's lovely. I went and it was pretty intense. And at some point, I thought the guy I went there with was gonna like kick someone's ass. And then all of a sudden, before I knew it, everyone's hugging and dancing, and that's the crack. It's fine.
Very Irish. Exactly.
Best night, man. Dublin.
Was that in Dublin?
Yes. Yeah, not because of the guy, because of the rest of it.
Yeah. I just went there.
He happened to be there at the time. Yeah.
Sure. Little add-on.
Yeah. little bar snacks over there. Doesn't matter. Probably going to be gone in a minute, but he was there at the time.
Excellent. Amazing. Great analogy again. Oh, my love. Excellent. Well, yeah, I'm going to let you go back to your wine, your husband, and your cat.
Excellent.
Your productive afternoon.
But it's been a pleasure. I mean, most fun interview ever.
Thank you. My face is hurting from smiling again.
No, mine is actually too. I feel it.
Face yoga.
Face yoga. Very good.
Your hair is banging, mate. I love it.
Thank you. I got it together for this.
How long does it take you to, make it defy gravity?
It lasts about three days. I'll wake up, I'll have to do a little something, but 5 minutes. It's not hard when it's cut right. Wow. I have a brilliant unicorn of a woman that is in LA that usually does the hair. And she's called Sterling is her name, Sterling. So I got Sterlified. That's her on Instagram, Sterlified. And when the cut is long now, I'm actually gonna go for a longer thing now that I'm in quarantine. I thought I would go for like a faux hawk, and then I can sometimes do like the shag.
Yeah. It
comes down like the 70s shag, but I could also slick it back and put it up if I wanted. That's my next incarnation.
Brilliant.
You heard it first. So exciting.
Released, everyone's going to be watching.
Like, who cares? Sadie does it in hair.
Excellent. Well, my darling, thank you so much. You are amazing, and thanks for sharing so much. You're an absolute diamond.
Of course. Thank you for everything, and for really just being a great interviewer and bringing that out of me so that everyone else could hopefully benefit from some jewel that we've dropped here today. And keep doing what you do too. I love watching it. You're just fantastic. And I know we're going to meet in person one day. Some yoga and a pint.
I think the pint.
Yeah.
The yoga of pints.
I'm there.
Excellent. All right. I love you, man. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Bye, darling.
Bye.